How's it going, everybody? I'm the B2C Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the price is going up or down. So a little XRP news to start off. Ripple bolsters its case versus SEC with new filing. If you come to this website, do not click the frickin' pop-up about getting in on a coin pre-sale with no sign-up required. Those are usually a scam. I tried finding this article on a different site because of it, but couldn't. In its legal battle with the SEC, Ripple Labs yesterday filed a letter of supplemental authority to further bolster its fair notice defense. The letter refers to Judge Michael Wiles' ruling on the Voyager bankruptcy case. In it, Judge Wiles rejected the SEC's claims in surprisingly strong terms. As Ripple's legal team noted in its letter to Judge Torres, her colleague from the same circuit, Judge Wiles, issued a decision on March 11, 2023, further supporting Ripple's fair notice defense. The SEC objected to Binance.US's plans to acquire Voyager on the grounds that the Voyager token had aspects of a security without specifying what those aspects were. The SEC also objected that Binance US was an unregistered securities exchange without explaining why the SEC took that view. Judge Wiles rejected the SEC's objections and approved the bankruptcy plan. After his ruling, rationale is consistent with many of Ripple's arguments according to the letter of supplemental authority. First, the ruling charges that the SEC's objections were too vaguely worded and notes that the agency did not provide any evidence of what the debtor should prove to show that VGX is not a security. In addition, Ripple argues to Judge Torres that according to Judge Wiles, the SEC generally provided only limited guidance to the market participants. Second, Judge Wiles agreed with Ripple's arguments that cryptocurrency market participants operate in a regulatory environment that can be described as highly uncertain as best. Ripple quotes the following subpassage from the ruling. Regulators themselves cannot seem to agree on whether cryptocurrencies are commodities that may be subject to regulation by the CFTC, or whether they are securities that are subject to securities laws, or neither, or even what criteria should be applied in making the decision. An uncertainty that has persisted despite the fact that cryptocurrency exchanges have been around for a number of years. So because of these inconsistencies, Ripple submitted additional paperwork and is saying, hey, because of these inconsistencies were found to hold no value for the Voyager case, they should hold no value in our case. Magic Eden launches Ordinals marketplace for Bitcoin NFTs. Bitcoin NFTs have taken off over the last 2 months thanks to the launch of Ordinals, with more than 500 such inscriptions made to date. Magic Eden, the largest Solana NFT marketplace, announced today that it added support for Bitcoin Ordinals. It's the latest multi-chain move for the startup, probably because Solana NFTs are off half the time. As a non-custodial marketplace, Magic Eden itself never takes control of assets being traded, and it will support the Ordinals-compatible Hero and Zverse wallets at launch. Magic Eden's marketplace launch suggests that Ordinals tooling and infrastructure are spinning up quickly, as recently as early as February when Bitcoin NFT buzz was first heating up. Some traders were using public spreadsheets and Airtable forums to coordinate asking prices and trades. The first Bitcoin Ordinals marketplace includes ORDX and Generative, launched later in February, with others joining the fray since, including Gamma. Magic Eden already has some plans ahead to expand. Right now, the Ordinals marketplace is focused on secondary market sales, but the firm plans to add other future tools for minting digital assets onto the Bitcoin blockchain. Igor Milgram, who handles business development for Magic Eden, said that it stays on every node forever. He told Decrypt, even if the apocalypse hit, there will be computers that'll have Bitcoin on their hard drives, and they'll be able to spin it up. It's kind of undestroyable in that way, and that gives those assets more value. What he's referring to right here is that Bitcoin NFTs hold more value than other NFTs because every node has to have the same copy of that NFT on it, and they can always be recovered. Sushi swap subpoenaed by SEC proposes legal defense fund to Sushi down. Sushi, maker of the Ethereum-based decentralized exchange, Sushi Swap, disclosed on Tuesday it received a subpoena from the Security and Exchange Commission. The organization's disclosure came in the form of proposals submitted to the Sushi DAO for the establishment of a legal defense fund to cover potential legal costs. Sushi and head chef Jared Gary were recently served with an SEC subpoena, the proposal stated. We're cooperating with the SEC. As of Monday afternoon, the SEC had yet to announce it delivered a subpoena to Gray or Sushi. The DAO proposal seeks to make $3 million available for the legal fund in the form of USDT. It includes a contingency that would make another $1 million worth of USDT available if the initial funds are depleted fighting the SEC. One DAO member named Test1 wondered if the SEC sent the subpoena directly to Gary in order to bring an enforcement against action against the DAO. The simplest solution would be to make sure that Sushi does not have anyone from the US involved from now on, members were saying, because the SEC loves to regulate by enforcement rather than actually tell you how you should run your business. So on to the charts. Over on the daily for Bitcoin, we are getting like a double spinning top here, so that could be a tweezer tops. That could signal that we may fall down, as we are above our high value area for our volume profile. It's likely that we could come down from here, and we also are inside the golden pocket and kind of bounced around here for the last few days. Our indicators, our money flow is coming out, VWAP still coming out, momentum still rolling over, and our stochastic and RSI really haven't moved much. So daily, the indicators really aren't doing much more different. Over on the 4 hour, our money flow is starting to kind of peter out. Momentum's making lower lows, so we're setting up more and more divergences on the 4 hour. Our RSI is trying to hold, it's pointing down, and our stochastic's about to make a bearish cross, so if that cross confirms, it's likely we could see the RSI start to give up some of its strength. VWAP looks like it's about to break bearish soon, so watch out for that as well. If we look over at the 2 hour, we have this ascending triangle that we've made. I think I made it on the 1 hour, so you have a little more candle bodies here touching. But we'll look at on the 2 hour real quick. Our momentum's overall coming down. We have a red dot momentum that could confirm, and momentum's about to curl. Our money flow's coming out overall, and same with our VWAP, it's in the bearish zone. Stochastics made a bearish cross, but it hasn't really made much movement downwards. It's kind of going sideways, and our RSI is slightly starting to lose strength, even though we're still in the bullish zone. So overall, we look slightly weak on the 2 hour, but it's likely we could see some of this reset if we bounce around in this triangle. If we take a look on the triangle on the 1 hour, you can see the candle bodies touch a little better here. Our stochastic's heading down, momentum's heading down, money flow's coming out, and our VWAP is trying to come back up. But overall, we look pretty bearish, and with that money flow coming down, we could try and test this neutral zone again soon, like we did back here. We're not going to cover the futures today because there's really not much movement on them. We're bouncing on this support for graph that we've had for quite a while now, probably since we started talking about it. Stochastic's starting to head down, looks like it could roll over and make a little bit of a move up, but our momentum could print a red dot and bring us some more bearish momentum here. VWAP did cross bearish and our money flow is coming out, so overall the daily looks pretty bearish with those signals flashing. The stochastic and RSI could save us and kind of bounce us up, but we'd have to kind of see if we get the momentum to support that idea. Stochastic's kind of starting to curl here, money flow's sharply heading down, VWAP's heading down. Our momentum was coming up, but it's starting to kind of round off to the side, so we could start to curl away if we don't get more momentum. We did bounce up, break support, and then bounce back through and retest it, so that's pretty positive. However, if we don't get momentum, we could break that support again, as it's pretty weak because we've hit it quite a few times as of recent history. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's heading down, but it could make a bullish cross. RSI is kind of curling down sideways. Money flow keeps trying to break up, but it just keeps getting rejected. So the 2 hour doesn't look real good with all those rejections. Our VWAP's about to break bearish, and our momentum wave is starting to curl pretty strongly. So overall on the 2 hour, it's not looking too positive. The stochastic's starting to head down, momentum RSI is making lower highs and kind of going flat. Our momentum wave is heading down on the 1 hour. We rejected crossing, and we've been in the bearish zone for quite some time now. So we're probably confirmed in a bearish trend if we aren't able to break through pretty soon here. Over on Anchor, if we look at the daily, we are rejecting this support. We could close above it though, as we still have some time yet. So when this video posts about, then you might be able to see if we're above or below support. But stochastic's heading down, RSI is trying to point up. Our momentum's going kind of flat after getting that red dot, so it's trying to invalidate it. Our momentum's in the bearish zone, and our money flow is coming out. So overall, we look kind of bearish. We're above the point of control, so if we manage to hold here, at least this local point of control, then it's likely we could make a move to the value area high, but we would need Bitcoin to make that breakout, most likely. So over on the 4 hour, stochastic's kind of starting to round. RSI is heading up overall, but our money flow's coming out. VWAP's starting to round off. Our momentum looks like it could start to curl over here. So overall, we look like we could get some bearish signals to start flashing here. Over on the 2 hour, we're getting a reversal arrow after kind of pushing downwards, so that could try and push us sideways or upwards, but I wouldn't bet too hard on that. Stochastic's trying to head down, but it looks like we could get a bullish cross with those lines coming together real close. RSI is kind of flat. Money flow does not want to break on the 2 hour, but if it does break, then that would be probably a confirmation of a bearish trend carryover from the 1 hour. We'll look at that in a second. Our momentum is starting to roll over, so overall we look pretty bearish on the 2 hour. And like I said, that's pretty much a carryover from the 1 hour, as our money flow was well into the red. It tried to break bullish, it's still trying, but it's not getting very much success. Stochastic's making lower lows and giving up strength, and it's splitting off pretty strongly right now. So we could see a strong drop, kind of like in here. RSI is heading down, momentum's heading down, and our VWAP's kind of dead under the bearish zone. Same with that money flow. So overall, we look pretty bearish on the 1 hour. We do have a bit of a 1 hour descending triangle here too, which is a bearish pattern. So that could break us down and take us to that value area low, at which point if we break that and hold under it, this range may get invalidated and we may see more downside. Over on XRP, we have a God candle here that saved us from this head and shoulders and just smashed through this descending channel we had. So if everything holds pretty well over the next few days, we could get rid of all this. Stochastic and RSI are heading up, VWAP's heading up, momentum's heading up. Our money flow didn't cross bullish though, it got a bearish rejection a couple days ago, so that's not the greatest. We do have a higher low though, but I would have expected more of a sharper incline. We do have this green dot that could confirm too, which those tend to mean that we can get more bullish momentum. Here you see it got a little bit, here we got a real big move, here we got a slight move, here we went down, so it's not 100%. Nothing's ever going to be 100%. 4 hour stochastic's rolling over, RSI is about to crash, momentum's about to start to roll here. VWAP's heading down pretty aggressively, and our money flow's heading downwards just after breaking bullish. Watch for this money flow to hold here on the 2 hour or the 4 hour and lower. 2 hour, we're well into a bullish trend with our money flow, but our stochastic's heading down pretty sharp. Same with RSI and probably our momentum. We got red dots here, So VWAP just barely broke bearish right now. So overall we're looking pretty bearish on the 2 hour, and we could give up some of these gains, but that's to be expected when you make a huge run up. Stochastic and RSI, Stochastic's crashing hard, RSI wants to curl and kind of recoup. Money flows while in the green, but it is starting to sharply decline, so be cautious of that, because when that happens, sometimes you can head toward that neutral zone. VWAP's heading down, so overall we're well in bullish zones right now, mostly because of that news we covered earlier. So it's likely we could give up some of these gains. We did get a 23% gain on XRP, so that's a pretty crazy gain for one day. So over on algo, last but not least here, we have that red X. We have a bullish engulfing candle, so if this does print like that, that could invalidate this red X, and we may not see that downside. Money flow might hold bullish too if that manages to happen, and our VWAP looks like we could bounce off this neutral zone and continue upwards. Stochastic and RSI are heading up. Our momentum's kind of starting to curl, but if all these bullish other patterns keep, or other signals, keep their bullish momentum, we might see that straighten out and carry upwards. Over on the 4 hour, our momentum's heading up. Money flows well in the green. VWAP is starting to kind of round here, so I'd be cautionary of that. Stochastic's heading up, RSI is heading up. We are getting that green dot, so overall we're looking pretty bullish on the 4 hour here. On the 2 hour, our money flow's not too strong, but we are holding pretty decently from where we were last night. Momentum is kind of heading up, but might start to round out here. RSI and Stochastic are both kind of rounding out here. Our money flow, if we don't keep moving up from here, then it's likely these other signals could start to drag us lower. VWAP is kind of flat, so overall we're kind of stagnant, slightly bearish on the 2 hour. The 1 hour Stochastic's making higher or lower highs while price makes higher highs, so that's the bearish divergence. Stochastic's about to make a bearish cross. RSI is heading up though because we have strength. Our momentum looks like it's about to round off. Our money flow is barely green. We did break it bearish, so if we break back into the bearish and start pushing down from there, then it's likely that could start to carry over. VWAP looks like we could get a bearish cross here, so overall the 1 hour looks like we could start to give up some of the gains we've made today here as well. So overall the entire market's looking pretty bearish. If Bitcoin does make a pump out of this triangle, that could be our last pump, and then we may correct to fill in gaps on in the CME. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.